Alright, yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video, and today we're here with a pretty big exciting video. Today we are going to be doing something I haven't done before, but we are going to be predicting NFL teams um record their final records for this season. Now that we are about almost 14 weeks in. So, before we start, if you guys saw my community post, I obviously made it clear I won't be able to do NFL pick videos anymore for the remainder of the year, but we will still cover Miami Dolphins videos, recaps, previews, news, all that good stuff. So we're still going to continue with the Dolphins, but we're done with NFL picks for the rest of the year, which is why we're putting it all into one final video. So with that being said, let's get this thing underway. Um, so we will start off with the the AFC side of things. My Miami Dolphins. Um, Little brief summary. The Dolphins are 9-3. They have been unbelievable this year. They're 9-3 for the first time since what, 2000 or 2001? I don't exactly remember. But the Dolphins have clinched a winning record, guaranteed. They are trying to win the division now this year. Tua's having the best season of his career. The Dolphins defense has stepped up incredibly the last couple weeks. They're trying to make a big push. So, that being said, let's predict the rest of the schedule. So, tomorrow, which the preview for this game will come out tomorrow before the game. The Titans will head on to Miami to take on the Dolphins. This game should be winnable for Miami. I mean, they are facing off a very bad Titans team. Yes, this is going to be, they have a very good defensive side, but I think that their offense is just still, it's very, very bad. So we're just gonna, I'm gonna go with Miami on this one. Um, wait, I have all my scores, predictions in a document. Because I already predicted the scores. Hold on, let me pull that up right now. I know that it was like, okay, so this game was, I predicted 31-20 for the Miami Dolphins. Jets Dolphins. This game is gonna be big because if Buffalo loses today and Miami wins tomorrow and next Sunday, they will win the division. This game is huge. It's a must win for this Dolphins team. Aaron Rodgers could be back that game, so I do expect the Dolphins to have a little bit of trouble, like on the defensive side of things, but I think their offense is going to go in, and I think that they're going to get the job done in Aaron Rodgers' return. Um, no, we don't need that. 30-25. And a nice little shootout, I think, Majidi. So the Dolphins 11-3. Dallas at Miami. I'm going to this game. Now, I know the Dolphins have struggled against teams with a winning record this year. They are 1-3. But I mean, I really do think that the Dolphins can go in and get the job done against, one of these three teams. But, you know, if the Cowboys got their win against Seattle, I think the Dolphins are going to pull it off against Dallas. It's going to be a tough game, but I think they're going to go in Christmas Eve, pull out a tough shootout against the Dallas Cowboys. 34-31. 12-3. Okay, so week 17, Dolphins will travel to Baltimore for New Year's Eve. Normal now you're going to this game coming off a huge win against the Cowboys. I think they're gonna just, you know, take a loss here to Baltimore, unfortunately. I think the Dolphins can beat a playoff team, but I don't think they are ready to beat a Super Bowl team yet. So I'm just gonna say that they're gonna drop one to the Ravens. I'm gonna say 27, Baltimore 37. Now week 18, I expect Miami to rest the starters. For instance, if they win the division. So I'm gonna say the Bills are going to get a win on the no, not 35. 30, yeah, something like, if the backups do play this game, then it will probably, we'll go with 27 to 14. So that is the Dolphins. I predict a 12-5 finish, and I think the Dolphins will win their first division title for the first time since 2008. Now we have the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are 10-3. Lamar Jackson has been phenomenal this year. The defense is phenomenal. The Ravens overall are just phenomenal this year. They have had some injuries here and there, but listen, they are still a great team this year, and I think they're going to be a scary team in the playoffs. Week 14, currently they do trail to the Los Angeles Rams, but I did predict Baltimore was going to win this game. And look, I really got to give it to the Rams. They improved a lot after last year's disaster. Got to give them credit where it's due. But the Rams, come on, bro. They're not going to beat the fucking Ravens of all teams. Like, no. So we're going to go. I'm going to predict. This was my prediction. I'm going to say the Ravens get that one. And obviously, as you saw, I had the Ravens winning over Miami. So there's that. Actually, no, they're 9-3, not 10-3. But those two games are 11-3 right now. Ravens and Jacksonville. Listen, obviously the Ravens are a much better team than Jacksonville. But I will say this. The Jaguars have given the Ravens trouble in the past. And last year's game was a thriller. I think history is going to repeat itself, and the Jaguars are going to pull off a huge upset on the Ravens. But I think you're going to bounce back big time, beat the 49ers and Dolphins, finish out with a win against the Steelers to finish the season 13-4. Great season, and I think they hold on to the number one seed. So, to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs have kind of had a little bit of a down year. I gotta tell you, this has not exactly been the year they've been hoping for. Mahomes is kind of up and down. Receivers have been an absolute disaster. Their offense overall is just not what it used to be. But their defense has been sensational this year. They are playing well against playoff teams on the bright side, but how will they fare the rest of this year? Today, they will play the Buffalo Bills at home. This is going to be a big game. I will tell you all that. This is going to be a fun game to watch. I think this is going to be one of the games of the year. I think the Chiefs are going to get it done, though, because their defense has been great this year, and their defense steps up when it matters most. I think they're gonna pull it off against the Bills, 32-26 today. Now Monday night, which this game could get curved, but we don't know yet. Wait a minute, did this game? Oh, this game got moved to Sunday. That's right. They just haven't updated it yet. So this is actually a Sunday game now. No need to even. You don't even need to overthink it. Okay. Well, you really don't even need to overthink it. Trust me, you don't. Raiders at Chiefs again. This game shouldn't even be an overthinking one. Just don't overthink this game. Bengals at Chiefs. I would go with the Bengals in this game if they had Joe Burrow. I think Jake Browning isn't as bad as people say he is, but I don't think he's enough to get the job. I don't think he's going to be able to get the job done. I think the Chiefs get that one. And now, you face a scenario where the number one seed is on the line. I think the Chargers are going to spoil the Chiefs' hopes and dreams of getting the number one seed, and the Chiefs will finish rather as the number two seed instead and play in the first round of the playoffs. Yes, the Chargers actually do something relevant. Chiefs finished 12-5, number two seed. Not bad for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now time for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Currently, the Jacksonville Jaguars trail to the Cleveland Browns. Listen, Joe Flacco, you ain't all that. I do think the Browns are going to make the playoffs. But I don't think they're going to get it done today. I think the Jaguars are going to come up big time here. Defense is going to step up. Trevor Lawrence is going to turn this game around. No question asked. And I obviously predicted this game to be the Jaguars side of things. Jaguars at Buccaneers. Look, the Buccaneers. Sorry, y'all ain't good this year. Baker, though he did get much better, I don't think he's gonna come up and pull it off for the Buccaneers this game. Okay, don't even over. Well, usually when the Panthers play the Jaguars, it's much closer than people think, than people expect. So I'm gonna say 17 to 23, and the Titans get the last game of the year with the Jaguars um resting starters. So I do think Jacksonville jumps over Miami to get the number three seed. So Jacksonville wins their division, and they would play whoever the number six seed is in the playoffs. So shifting to the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are 7-5. They're not doing too bad, but the rest of their schedule doesn't seem as easy as some may say it is. They currently trail to the Cincinnati Bengals 7-0. Believe it or not, I think Cincinnati's going to get it done. I really do think Jake Browning is going to step up this game. I think he's going to continue playing well. I think he's going to get it done on Indianapolis and pull off a huge upset to knock off Indianapolis to 7-6. So now you have the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are a better team. Okay. The Colts offense is great this year, but I don't think they're going to stand a great chance against the Steelers defense. The Steelers defense has been absolutely phenomenal this year. So, Steelers are going to pull it off a tight one, which now drops the Colts to 7-7. Colts, Falcons. Colts are a better team than the Falcons, okay? Don't overthink it. Oh, actually, let's talk about this game. I can't say that because the Falcons have actually gotten so much better than last year. They are way better than what they were last year. Their defense is improved tremendously. And again, whenever the Colts have played a very good defensive team this year, they've struggled. History is going to repeat itself. A 23 a 23-20 loss against Atlanta. You are 7-8 with your season in jeopardy. I think they're gonna pull one out against the Las Vegas Raiders. This game, I mean, the Raiders are just kind of done. So I'm not expecting much. So I'll give them And now, this Texans team is much different than what Indianapolis played in week two. CJ Stroud gets his revenge, and they knock off the Colts from the postseason. This game is going to be a thriller. Texans get a 31 to 24 win. Colts finish 8-9. They're much better than last year, but I don't think they're good enough to make the playoffs. Their schedule is much harder than people think it is. Colts an 8-9 record to finish the year. Now we have the Houston Texans, who have shocked the world this year after being one of the worst teams in the NFL last year for and for many years as well. Here they are, basically 7-5, but they're 8-5 right now because I just predicted that. Okay, today they will face off. They are currently playing the New York Jets. I do expect the Jets defense to give Stroud a little bit of a problem, but I think Stroud is gonna get the job done. It's gonna be a close game, so I'm gonna say Texans pull it out, 21 to 15. Texans Titans don't uh hmm this game's a little hard. I'm gonna go with Tennessee because usually Tennessee pulls one out on Houston every year, and then people get all, and it's a whole shocker. So big game for Levis. I think the Browns, even though they don't have Watson anymore, even though they've had injuries, I think the Browns defense is one of the best in the NFL, close to the Niners right now. They're gonna put it they're gonna put it on against CJ Stroud, and I think they're gonna get the tiebreaker on Houston. So 20 to 13. I think the Texans get their revenge, and obviously I said that. So let's take a look at what and they finished 10-7. Amazing season for Houston. Gotta give them their props when it's due. Cleveland Browns are currently 7-5, but obviously with some games already in, they are 8-6. So we already talked about this game. They play the Chicago Bears next week. This game is in a game they have to take advantage of. I think they're gonna get the job done. They're gonna put it on against Justin Fields. Defense is gonna get that boy wrapped up. We already got that one. This is gonna be a defensive game. Oh God, why is this on Thursday night? I think the Browns are gonna get it done in the most, you know, defensive thing I've ever seen. End of the year, Browns will probably rest. Bengals get the job done. So the Browns hold on to the number 5 seed over the Houston Texans. Now you have the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are 8-7. Well, they're actually 7-6, but now 8-7 with this. I think they win out. They will win out. Or wait. You know what? I'm gonna give it to the Bengals. And here's why. The Bengals, it's hard for me to see them getting swept by by the Steelers. Even though they have Jake Browning, they always put up a good game against the Steelers. They always put up a battle, no matter what the year is. I think they're gonna pull it off against Pittsburgh, but I think Pittsburgh will get one in Seattle, but then eventually Baltimore puts an end to their season. I think this game is gonna be a blowout. Sorry, Steeler fans. Baltimore ends Pittsburgh's season in painful fashion, and I think Pittsburgh will not make the playoffs. I do think the Vikings. I actually think the Vikings are gonna get this game. Again, no Jake Brown, no Joe Burrow. Yes, as I said, Jake Browning. I think he's not as bad as everybody thinks, but I think that the Joshua Dobbs-led Vikings are much better than what they were in the beginning. Even though Dobbs has only been with this team for a few weeks, I do think this Vikings team is much better. They're gonna get it done. They're gonna beat the Bengals, or otherwise the Bungles. 20-16. Let me get a score prediction here. Uh, there you go. A 9-8 finish for the Bengals despite losing Joe Burrow. Shouldn't be too disappointed with that. Now you have the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos hold a tiebreaker on the Buffalo Bills. Huge, right? Yeah. So week 14, the Broncos will head to LA. I think they're gonna lose this game because the Chargers always put up numbers against the Broncos. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I think they're gonna get it done today. But hear me out. I think they're gonna pull off a huge win against Detroit, and they're gonna sweep out the rest of the year. The Broncos are a much different team than what they were in the beginning. This is not that same Broncos team we saw in week 3 against Miami when they gave up 70 points. It's not even close. This Broncos team has improved tremendously. And you have to give them credit where it's due, man, because this has been an incredible turnaround led by Sean Payton. And I think that he takes Denver to the playoffs. 10-7 finish. They get in over Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, and I think they will get in over Buffalo, which Buffalo, man, this is a lost season for them. They were supposed to be much better than this, I gotta say. They were not supposed to be as down if they have as they have been this year, but you know what? They blew it. They were off to a great start, but they just fell apart. So I predict a 10-7 finish for Buffalo. Chargers. I think they're gonna get one on. They're gonna get it on the Raiders. It doesn't even matter. I predict. Wait. Um, so there you go. 8-9 for the Chargers. Tennessee. Seattle gets that. Not talking about the rest of the team since it's been so bad, and also because they have a lot of seasons, so there's no point covering them. Commanders. They'll beat the Commanders. Yep. So that's it for the AFC. Now let's cover the NFC side of things. Also, we're not predicting the playoffs or anything, so we can get that straight. The Eagles just got their ass whooped by San Francisco last week. But however, the Eagles, I think that game was a fluke. I think they just had a bad game. So I do think they're gonna take a loss to Dallas, their annual loss to them. It's gonna be an amazing game. It's gonna be such a good game, man. Can't wait for this game. But you have an easy schedule the rest of the way. Should be able to finish off this year 13-4 without any I mean, you should realistically you shouldn't have any problems finishing out the season strong. Like you play the Giants, I mean, they've been pretty disappointing. Gotta say that. Cardinals have been hard to watch, even though Murray's back and that they're much better, but they're still not that good. They're not good, man. They're just not a good team. Cardinals, but they will be better in a few years from now. 23. So a 14 win season for the Philadelphia Eagles. Or yeah, I'll go with 14. San Francisco, oh my God. Jesus Christ, laptop. The 49ers, 9-4. They've been great this year. Defense phenomenal, offense phenomenal, Kyle Shanahan phenomenal. Everything about this Niners team is great. They're a Super Bowl contender. They have a very easy schedule the rest of the way. So, oh boy, this game is going to be a ass whooping. Sorry, Seattle. Don't get mad at me, but that's what I'm gonna put it as. You have Arizona. Last time they played Arizona, it was actually reasonably close. So 31-24. I think they're gonna drop one to Baltimore, as I've already talked about. 6-30. They're gonna absolutely ass fuck. They're going to absolutely butt fuck the Commanders. No, not 42. Let's make it worse. 46-10. And they will stomp. I mean, I think they're gonna stomp on the Rams, finishing the season 13-4. You already know the drill with that. The Lions. The Lions have been something special this year. They are on pace to make the playoffs right now. They have a winning season guaranteed. They've been great against both losing, winning, and playoff teams. They're an all-around good team. Currently, they trail to the Chicago Bears. Now, this may come to a little bit of a shocker. And I know people are probably going to be like, what the fuck, dude? I think they're going to suffer a huge upset to the Bears and Broncos in back-to-back weeks. And I think they're going to drop one to the Vikings as well. But you know what? Even then, I think they're going to finish out the season strong. They're going to pull off a big win on Dallas and finish off with the division title on the Vikings, and I think they're going to get it done. It's the Cowboys, and this is going to be a great game. Oh my God. This game will be great to watch in week 17. There you go. 11-6 for the Detroit Lions. The Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons have been interesting this year. Their defense is great. Their offense is mid, but they're beating people. I think they're personally the best team in their division right now. And I honestly think they listen from today to week 18, they could well win out. And honestly, I think they're gonna pull it off against Tampa. They're gonna beat Carolina. They're gonna beat Chicago, drop one there, and they're gonna finish the season 10 wins. I predict 9. Yeah, 9. I think they'll lose one to Carolina actually, because they always fucking lose their annual upset game. So 25-17. They're gonna absolutely butt fuck. Well, not butt fuck, but they'll beat them pretty good. And I don't think they'll care enough for this game because the Saints have blown it away. So is that all the games? Yep. Atlanta 9-8. Now you have the Dallas Cowgirls. They only have one game left. So let's just give it to Dallas. Why was I overthinking that? Shouldn't have been overthinking that. The Vikings, Joshua Dobbs leads them to a playoff spot. The Packers, this is the one I've been wanting to get excited for. The Packers at one point started off 2-5. Since then, they have won 4 of the last 5. They hold a tiebreaker over the New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks. Now they swept over New Orleans, but they do have a tiebreaker on Seattle in terms of all these standards. Jordan Love, I gotta give it to him where it's due, man. He's led a great turnaround. I'm gonna give it to them against the Giants. I'm gonna give it to them against the Buccaneers. I'm gonna give it to them against Carolina Panthers. I'm gonna give it to them against the Bears. The Packers scream into the playoffs after a 2-5 start, screaming their way into the playoffs. Props. Gotta give it to you. Gotta give it to you, Matt LaFleur. You led a freaking turnaround. Great turnaround led by Matt LaFleur. All right, let's get this in. Let's get these predictions. Let's get this final one in. Okay, there you go. Props to you, Packers. The Saints have been disappointing this year. I mean, Jesus, this team was supposed to be so much better after they got Derek Carr. But Dennis Allen is terrible. Horrible head coach. Horrible. So I think they're gonna drop it to Carolina today. They're gonna beat Carolina and Giants. But they're gonna lose to the Rams and the Buccaneers to finish 8-9. They're just bad. Defensively, they're great, but offensively, they're so bad. They are terrible this year. You know, not much you can really do about it. But hey, at least Dennis Allen will get fired, so that's something you can be happy about, Saints fans. Okay, the Buccaneers absolutely own New Orleans now. The Rams, listen, man. The Rams last year had a horrible season. This year, they are much better. And I gotta give it to Sean McVay. Dude, what a turnaround he's led for this Rams team. I think they're gonna pull it off on the Commanders. Um, 28, 25, and I think they're gonna beat the Giants. They're gonna finish over 500. They're not gonna make the playoffs, but man, what a great turnaround led by Sean McVay and this Rams organization. Let's talk about Seattle. I had very high expectations for Seattle this season. They made moves in the offseason, a lot of moves. They made moves at the deadline. At one point, this team was 5-2. They have lost 4 of the last 5. They are 6-6. I'm sorry, Seattle. This has been an unbelievably disappointing season. I mean, they blew it. They were off to a great start, but they let it slip out of their hands. You know what? I don't think Geno Smith is the guy in Seattle. He was not even nearly what he once was last year. This team needs a quarterback. This team has a future, but they need they need answers at quarterback. So let's wrap up the rest of these predictions. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'm gonna give it to Carolina in the end. Okay, we're gonna wrap this up in a second. Hold on, because we don't really need to talk about the rest of the teams. I mean, the rest of the teams are just horrendous. They are awful this year. So let's wrap things up. Okay, the Bears, Giants. Do I have? All right, everybody is done. And while you guys can't see the right side of my screen with the NFC, I have that blurred out because there are some viruses appearing on that side. But I will read that to you I show you the AFC. The Ravens 13-4, Chiefs 12-5, Jaguars 12-5, Miami Dolphins 12-5, Cleveland Browns 10-7, Texans 10-7, Broncos 10-7, Bills 10-7, Steelers 9-8, Bengals 9-8, Colts 8-9, Chargers 8-9, Titans 6-11, Raiders 5-12, the Jets 5-12, the Patriots 4-13. Now you guys can't see the NFC side of the screen, so I will read it. Number one, the Eagles at 14-3, then the 49ers 13-4, and then you have the Lions 11-6, the Falcons at 9-8, the Cowboys at 11-6, Vikings 10-7, Packers 10-7, Rams 9-8, Seahawks 8-9, Saints 8-9, the Buccaneers 6-11, the Bears 5-12, the Giants 4-13, the Commanders 4-13, the Arizona Cardinals 4-13, and the Carolina Panthers 3-14. So that'll do it. That will wrap up this fun video. Um, it's been fun doing picks this season, but now we're only going to be doing the recaps, the previews, and all news for the Miami Dolphins for the rest of this year. And we'll do a playoff prediction video when the playoffs begin. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.